As we are in conversation with Senior Research Fellow and Director, Africa-Asia Dialogues, Thembisa Fakude, just to weigh in on the very latest developments in Israel and Hamas war. Of course, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dissolved the 6-member war cabinet. Mr. Fakude, thank you so much for your time. Just given how domestic, criticism continues to grow around Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war, and of course, the 2 resignations in his war cabinet. Does this come as a surprise to you? Your reaction?
Well, it's not a surprise. Benny Gantz did announce earlier that he was planning to resign on the 8th. And on the 8th, remember, there was the news about the rescue of the 4 Israelis that were kept by Hamas and the killing of hundreds of Palestinians in that attempt or in that process of rescuing the Hamas. So it was not unexpected. It was announced. And I think Benjamin Netanyahu saw it coming long time ago, of course, because even you have Gallant, who's one of the members of the war cabinet, had also put some pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to make his plans clear on what will happen post the war in Gaza or when the dust settles.
Of course, the government is far, from unified as we speak. What are we likely then to see in the coming days, especially in indications of what's going to happen in relation to the formation then of a government? I would imagine he would still want to continue with this particular war.
Well, he had 2 of the far-right partners, Bezalel Smotrich and Itamar Ben-Gvir, who wanted to form a new war cabinet. But of course, that was rejected by Benjamin Netanyahu because he understands their very extreme views on politics, particularly when it comes to the Palestinians. So what I think will happen now, given the pressure, continuing protests inside Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu at the moment has got no other choice but to call for elections, because as your correspondent correctly put it, you've got now internally displaced Israelis, particularly in the north, as Hezbollah continues to attack or send rockets to the northern part of Israel, and in the south, notwithstanding that Israel has continued to bombard the Gaza and over 37,000 people killed, Hamas continues to send rockets. So you've got, again, in the southern part of Israel, the displacement of the Israelis. So the situation is quite serious for Benjamin Netanyahu, and he's got no choice at this point but to call for new elections, and chances are he's going to lose those elections.
And so one would then imagine his hesitancy. But perhaps let's look at what's happening in the region. I mean, you've got, of course, the fighting that continues with Hezbollah. And we know, of course, that this is a powerful militia, of Lebanese political faction that is backed by Iran. Just talk to us about what is currently happening there, and also what we are also seeing, as a resurgence in Yemen in as far as those instabilities are concerned.
Well, there's been a tit-for-tat attacks from both Israelis and the Hezbollah in the northern part of Lebanon. And some couple of days ago, Israel killed one of the senior military personnel of Hezbollah, and that has resulted in the Hezbollah retaliating and most of the rockets hitting Israel, and that has forced a lot of people to move from the northern villages that border Lebanon and Israel into the hinterland of Israel, and as a result, that has created the internally displaced people to increase. And this is, of course, an embarrassment for Israel, notwithstanding that they've invested billions of dollars on the Iron Dome shield or protector from, intercepting all the rockets that were coming either from Gaza or from Lebanon. But you still have those rockets landing. And I think this has, to an extent, put pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to rethink his political stance, particularly on Gaza. But we know, for example, that he has promised that he was going to continue with his confrontation and fight with Hezbollah. But whether that was going to be won or not is another story. Now we see over 60,000 Israelis have moved from their homes, and that itself is a problem. Plus, given that there's continual protests inside Israel, it puts him in a much, much more complicated position.
Just given the complexity, where then do we place the U.S.? I mean, not too long ago, Anthony Blinken saying that, the stories of suffering he's heard directly from Palestinians and Israelis alike, saying that has motivated him. And of course, the U.S. to do everything possible to bring this conflict to an end. We obviously saw the U.S.'s stance in the Security Council, just in the Security Council, that is. Just talk to us about, where does this then place the pressures that we're seeing mounting on Benjamin Netanyahu and his greatest allies, the U.S.?
Well, the U.S. will never be able to absolve itself, save itself from future criticism of what it has done in Israel. It has basically encouraged and armed Benjamin Netanyahu to continue killing the Palestinians. So this is a step too late to try and save face for the Americans who have supported Benjamin Netanyahu and continue to support Benjamin Netanyahu. Today alone, you've got tens of thousands of Palestinians who are hurt and displaced, and hundreds continue to be killed. So Israel, United States can't solve itself, take itself outside this problem. They are part and parcel of this problem. Yes, they've in the past couple of days issued statements that seek to suggest that they are encouraging the flow of aid into Gaza, but we all know that they can do much more better than that. All over the past couple of months, it's been the Israelis, particularly the right-wing Israelis, that have been stopping the aid from flowing into Gaza. It's been the United States that continued to give arms to the Israeli forces to continue bombarding Gaza and the West Bank. So it's a bit of a hypocrisy for the United States to say that they're doing all they can in terms of stopping what's going on at the moment in Gaza and in facilitating the flow of aid, whilst at the same time they protect Benjamin Netanyahu, support Benjamin Netanyahu in all the multilateral platforms, and continue to give him the wherewithal, including arms, to continue attacking and killing the Palestinians to the number that we all know at the moment, which is over 37,000 Palestinians were killed since 7th October in 2023.